Welcome to this week's version of the weekly stock market forecast and outlook. Let's take a look and see what's going to happen coming up this week. So this is week number 6. So that's February 6th through the 10th. That's the time frame that we're going to be analyzing for our stock market forecast here. Before we get into the analysis, if you haven't already, jump on over to tradertactics.com and get your free traders resource guide, over 100 resources for active traders. All right, on to the analysis. Here we go. Year-to-date performance, the NASDAQ QQQ is still doing the best right now, up over 15%. IWM, that's the Russell ETF, up 13.5% just about. And followed by the SPY, S&P 500, and the Diamonds, the Dow Jones, still in last place, really not doing a whole lot here, only up 2.4%. What a big difference compared to the QQQ, the NASDAQ. All right, let's start off with the Russell 2000. Here we go. Kicking it off with the futures chart on the monthly, we can see that it was coming down, started to stabilize. Now it's starting to transition up. We're starting to see the bulls really starting to come into play. Same with the ETF, IWM. We're starting to see that transition taking place right now. However, don't say it's a bull market just yet. Look at the weekly chart. We're still range bound. It has not broken above that 2100 area resistance or supply. And until it does, we're still stuck in that range. So we're really bouncing between the support and resistance between about 1700 to about 2100, give or take, right in that range right there. You can see on the IWM the exact same concept. Price is really just stuck in that range. Now, because price is in the resistance area right now on both the IWM and the futures, I'm definitely expecting price to either pause up in here, consolidate for a little while, or reverse direction and start to come back down. And I think that's really where the probabilities lie, is an actual pullback to the downside here. And if you look on the daily chart, you can see a little better picture of it. Price right now is up in that resistance area on the daily chart as well as the weekly, little double bonus there. So I definitely think that the probability is to the downside. That is definitely what I'm going to be looking for next week, to sell short these markets here and any other market that's correlated with it. And so we can see on the IWM, exact same concept, the ETF, very shortable, sitting up here at extended levels, up in resistance, and the weekly resistance as well. So I'm definitely going to be looking for some bearish opportunities on Monday morning. Let's now turn our attention to the NASDAQ. Here we go. The NASDAQ, top row futures, bottom row ETF, QQQ. On the monthly time frame, we can see it's still coming out of that bullish location, being support down there, and it's had a nice bounce from that. Still overall a bearish sentiment. In other words, the downtrend is still intact on the monthly chart. Same on the QQQ. You can see the downtrend still intact. However, there's a real battle going on between that momentum downward and that support area, which is bullish. And so that's where that battle is taking place right there. Who's going to win? Time will tell. But right now, we can definitely start to see the bulls have woken up and they're really starting to make their charge here. On the weekly chart, you can see that charge. It's had a nice multi-week rally. However, really, when you look at this, it's right into resistance. You have two resistance stacked right on top of each other there on both the futures and the ETF. And so in this example here, again, I'm looking for shorting, a bearish opportunity here, just like the Russell. Same exact concept applies here. Price being in resistance. I do like how we're starting to see the bulls be more aggressive. That's shaking out a lot of the bearish traders out there, short squeezes and things like that. But this game is not over yet. It is still yet to be decided who has the dominant control. Right now, the bulls have had temporary control, but they don't have dominant control, not yet. Time will tell when that actually happens, and when it happens, that is when we will aggressively be looking for buying opportunities. But right now, we're just not there. On the daily chart, on the futures, we can see price has gone up into that resistance area that we had marked off. Had a nice little drop, so far so good on that if you guys got that short. Time will tell. We'll see what happens next week if we get follow through. I think probability is, yeah, we'll probably get follow through to the downside on that. Should be a decent shorting opportunity for a few days. Short little swing trade on that down to that support area, about the 12,000 mark would be a good target on that to exit that position for a profit. Same on the QQQ, same concept there. Price has already come out of that resistance area, so let's not go chase this. If you missed it, you missed it. Don't go chasing this thing. But if you're in it short, a good target area would be a little bit above that 290 support area for at least first target, if not getting out of the whole thing right there. So far so good on that short, if you took it on that one there. So that's our NASDAQ. All right, let's take a look at the monthly chart on our S&P 500 futures. It's been bearish as far as the momentum, the sentiment, all that stuff. And price did actually turn right in that support area and had a nice rally. So that's just a counter trend rally that we're seeing right there on the monthly chart. Although I will say, it's encouraging to see the bulls, the buyers, get more aggressive and the bears, the sellers, get more passive in this. So we're starting to see that change, that transition from bearishness to bullishness, although we're not quite there yet. We can see that on the weekly chart. So when you look at the weekly chart here, you can see we're still range bound on this S&P 500. It hasn't broken out of that 4,300 area resistance, hasn't broken below that 3,500 area support. We're really stuck in between those two areas. One thing that is encouraging though, look at the higher low, about 3,800. So that's encouraging for the bulls to see a higher low be set in on that weekly chart there. Problem is, again, we're just still stuck in that range. So until we break out of either that 4,300 resistance or break down below in that 3,500 area support, we're still just going to be stuck in that range. Now, that's fine. We can play the range on that, buy low, sell high type of thing. So because price is right up into that resistance, I think definitely looking for bearish opportunities this week would be the great way to go. That's where the probabilities are for sure. And you can see the same exact concept on the SPY. Price being in resistance, look for the bearish trading opportunities and ride that on the way down. On the daily chart, we can see price is right in that resistance area, about the 4,200 mark. Again, I'm looking for a reversal right there. If price climbs a little bit higher in the 4,300, you can see we have a swing high up there. That's resistance. So it might climb a little bit higher before it reverses. So either one of those, I think, is a good spot to look for a bearish opportunity. Same concept on SPY. You can see it already broke through just a little bit there. I'm not too concerned about that. We have supply resistance right above that. So there we are. Bearish is the opportunity for this week right now until the market proves us otherwise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for next week's market forecast and market analysis. If you want more information, feel free to go to tradertactics.com and I'll see you here next week. Have a great trading week, everybody.